Hello students, my name is Mr. Bine. I'm going to be your biology teacher this year. Hello parents as well. In this brief talk, I want to outline some of the major policies and standards that will apply in my class, as well as discuss some of the school-wide academic skills that we'll be perfecting in biology. First, though, I'd like to introduce myself a little bit more. My full name is Eben Bine. I studied biology and got my teacher certification at Dartmouth College in New Hampshire. I have many interests beyond biology and teaching, including singing and music, environmental activism, yoga, dance, working out, doing art, cooking, being outdoors. So if any of those sound interesting to you and you want to chat with me about them, you definitely should. Also, if you need to contact me for any reason, my contact information is here. You can see it's E, which is the letter of my first name, and then Bine, which is my last name, at revere.mec.edu. Also, I'm in room C7, extension 51272. And on Twitter, YouTube, and Pearl Trees, you can find me at the handle Beinology. Get it? Bine, that's like my last name, which is kind of like biology. Oh, God. Oh, it's too much. Throughout your stay at Revere High School, there are several school-wide skills that you'll be honing, not only in biology class, but in all of your classes, 9 through 12. I'm going to go through how those skills apply in my class specifically right now, starting with the skill of reading. Anytime you read, it's important to be able to pick out the central ideas of whatever you're reading. In biology class, that means not only ideas from text, but also ideas from diagrams. And videos and so on. There's lots of different media you'll have to interpret when you're in this class. In order to practice and just refresh your memories about reading and basic reading skills, pause the video for a moment and read this passage to the right on cats. When a scientist reads a passage like this, in order to understand it better, they need to use their note-taking and annotating skills very carefully. They also need to be able to identify key vocabulary in the passage and be thinking in the back of their minds, how valid is this scientific claim? Does the person who wrote this passage know what the heck they're talking about? So they might take a little time to look up the vocabulary. They might do a little bit of research on some other credible sources on cat defenestration to verify that these results aren't just coming from one place. And then lastly, they might design an experiment. So they might throw equal numbers of cats that are jerks out of windows in ranges A, B, and C, as you can see in the diagram that my roommate very nicely drew on the right, and then compare the percentage of injured cats in ranges A, B, and C and report these results clearly in speech, writing, or a video. When you're reading, you don't always have the time to design an experiment that's elaborate to test the validity of the stuff that you read, so you can just be questioning in the back of your mind, does this person really know what they're talking about? How can I verify that they know what they're talking about? The skill of reading comes hand in hand with the skill of writing. In biology class, as in many other classes, whenever you're making a scientific argument, you need to think about the evidence that you can use to support your argument. In biology, which is special to biology, there's so many vocabulary words that you have to master that in this class you'll be practicing often communicating complex ideas using the appropriate vocabulary. You'll also have chances to peer edit and revise each other's writing and learn to properly cite sources. For example, you can see my citation of my roommate right here in reference to the cat defenestration experiment. Also, you'll be using technology to promote your learning, specifically the iPads. We'll be using them almost daily. Amongst other things, I hope that you'll be able to use advanced search capabilities effectively before the year is up, and also be able to tell when you're searching up some information on your iPad, is the stuff that you're reading credible? That is it believable? Is it accurate or not? And then lastly, we'll be using our iPads to create many projects that we will present to each other. When you're giving these presentations or listening to other people give presentations, you need to have excellent speaking and listening skills, and we'll be working on those skills throughout this class. For example, we're going to perfect how to listen both to video and presentations. Amongst the presentations that we hear this year, I'm going to bring in many guest speakers in different fields of biology. Last year we had a nurse, a doctor, a med student, an and an evolutionary biologist come in to guest speak. And so those will be chances for you to listen really carefully and also ask relevant questions of the speakers and of each other. So in this class we'll be having a lot of thought-provoking discussions, but the discussions are not thought-provoking until you guys ask and answer the right questions. When you're working in groups, you need to coordinate and be cognizant of your group members, that is, aware of what they are thinking and how they can best contribute, so that you can get a creative decision-making process occurring between people, not dominated by one person. And then lastly, when you're presenting, something we'll do several times this year, you have to learn how to engage your audience with clearly expressed and thought-provoking ideas. In labs, tests, and research projects, you are going to be faced with many problems, scientific problems, that scientists have already attempted to solve, some that scientists have not attempted to solve, and you're going to be on the cutting edge of science in this class, in which case you're going to have to interpret what questions you're being asked in this project or challenge, and then develop and draw on any relevant knowledge that you have on the subject already, or perhaps go back and do some reading in order to refresh your memory, and then start taking that problem, break it down into steps, think carefully about each of those steps, and then communicate your solution clearly. So this basic outline, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, is a framework for how we'll be addressing problems throughout the year. The skills that are the most important to me in this school are the civil skills. These are the ones that help you become a better person as you engage with the material in biology class. So this is thinking about how to be an effective and cooperative group worker, how to maintain and respect public workspaces and materials. For example, we're going to be dealing with some expensive microscopes in this class, and how can you use the microscope effectively to help your learning without hurting the microscope, or hurting yourself. There's also going to be some safety involved in this class. And then lastly, developing an awareness of global and local issues. This is the biggie for me. Biology is the best subject in the world to learn about, because when you learn about it, you're able to make the world better. You can learn how to improve people's health, and you can learn how to improve the health of the environment in which we live and on which we depend. And that's why I get so passionate about biology as a topic.